What's up, guys? Welcome to OBO, Objectively Bad Opinions Podcast, episode number 27. I'm Josh James. With me tonight, drinking the Liquid Death lime flavor, Nicholas.
Yep. What up?
And drinking the... What are you drinking, Brody?
Maker's Mark. Whiskey
Maker's
flavored.
Mark.
Whiskey flavored.
Whiskey flavored. The incredible Brody Fultz. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready for a show. Evan is not with us today. He is sick, not feeling too well, and had to take some time to rest. So we're going to let him do that, and he'll be back next week for a new beautiful edition of OBO.
Let's get it.
Yeah, Nick, do you want to go first? Like, what do you have? What's grinding your gears, dude? Or what do you have? I mean, this is a pretty chill podcast. We kind of just jump into shit.
Well, before we go into it, why don't you do the disclaimer?
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Idea. The views and opinions of the host and co-host of this podcast are those of the host and co-host and not of the companies or organizations to which they're affiliated with. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm going to try to see how fast I can say it each episode
time.
Until the point where it's down to 4 seconds or something like that. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
The absolute clarity to it. You know what I mean? Just be like a big mumble. Just be like one big screech at the... At the end, and that would be it. That'd be the disclaimer.
Like an actual legal disclaimer where they rattle that shit off like they're auctioning a car.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Nick, do you want to plug our socials as you are chief social dictator?
Yes, sir. You can check out OBO on Twitter at OBO Podcast. You can check us out on Instagram at OBO Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you listen to podcasts on, you will find us there. Please do not forget to give us a rating, subscribe to us, follow us, share us with your friends, maybe not your mom, because there's a lot of bad talk on this. We do a lot of no talk, so don't show your mom. If you're under the age of 18 listening to the show, I hope you've learned something, and I hope you've learned what not to do growing up, because then you become me.
Listen to our show.
Yeah, listen to our show is one thing, but then you hear my stories, you go, I don't want to be that guy. Right?
I was just going to say anybody under the age of 18 probably shouldn't listen to our show, but yeah.
If you are,
you're
you're the cool kid in the back of the classroom, snickering.
Enjoy detention.
But yeah, that's where you guys can check us out. We hope to see you on the socials. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. We put a lot of hard work into this shit, and so far so good. And we love everybody who's been a part of the ride so far, guys.
Yeah, we're just, having fun each week. At least I am.
That's all the show is.
Kind of just chilling, and it's a good time just to hang out and just relax and talk about stupid shit, stuff that bothers us, stuff that we don't understand why it's fucking happening, and give some bad takes, man, on some important subjects. That's what the world needs nowadays, right? We definitely don't have too much of that.
Just fun? No, we don't.
No.
OBO reminds me of every time that WASD and Diggity would do a show together, and then after the show,
it was
video games would immediately go, click, no more video game talk. Obviously we're all gamers, and that's what we enjoy, but it was just immediate, yo, bro, boom, and it was just the funniest conversations for hours, hours worth of conversations, and this show was conceived, and this show has spiraled out of control at some time. In the making certainly. Of it.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful fucking monster that we just cannot stop. It probably makes my wife hate me so fucking much with how I speak on the show.
No, she still likes you.
She tolerates me. Tolerates.
You do some crazy shit.
I've done crazy shit. I'm so tame now.
Mostly, yeah.
I'm pretty tame now. I'm not fucking stealing
Brody,
from gas stations.
He's the most tame man. Just ask him.
I'm pretty tame, bro.
Wait, hang on. We just talked last episode about you stealing from the gas station in McDonald's.
Okay, but I'm not grabbing a whole thing of cigarettes and running out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Important clarification.
What did you order again that you got for free?
What do you mean?
Oh, it was a taco.
Oh, the McChickens?
How many McChickens was it?
It was 2.
Couple bucks, man.
$1
I'd have to pay for that shit,
dude. Straight to jail.
That's what I'm saying. I came out on top. McDonald's had nothing on me. Brody, was I
Yes,
on the
sir.
phone with you the other day when I was talking about the road rage guy?
Yes.
Can I tell that story?
While simultaneously having road rage? Or no, you didn't have
Yeah.
road rage that time. That was today. Where you go,
Yeah,
I
I had road rage.
Detroit.
You drive through Detroit, if people drive like it's a Mad Max, there's no...
Kind of is.
Are you okay,
I mean-
Brody?
Yep,
He dropped
we're good.
his feet.
I accidentally bumped the fucking thing to drop my chair.
It is a lot like Mad Max, but like the way that people drive, man, like you're liable just to get killed at any second.
It's the right environment.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, dude. But like, so I'm on the phone with Brody. I call him back. I'm like, dude, let me call you right back. And this was like a couple days ago.
Hmm.
I'm like, bro, I literally, so like for those watching the podcast live or like the VOD, guys in the left lane, a guy's pulling out of a fucking like driveway. And the fucking one car she's on her cell phone, or he was on his cell phone or whatever. And he comes out and fucking almost just trucks this dude in a Yukon. And this dude had to swerve lanes to get away from the car. And I'm like, okay. I'm like right behind it. So like I'm behind this shit. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Guy in Yukon fucking starts cutting into the person's lane. And it's not like behind or in front. Here's the car. Here's the Yukon. He is coming at that other car. And I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll ignore that shit. No, it gets worse. He fucking jolts his wheel at the car. That other car has to swerve into another lane, opposite side of the road, almost hitting another car. The guy starts taking shit from his car and throwing it at the smaller car that almost hit him. There's like hands full of bullshit at the other car. And then to top it off,
toss.
dude, yeah, just whoop. So like they're like weaving in and out, and I'm like, I'm not gonna miss out on this action. Something's gonna pop off here. And something did pop off. All I see is a hand go out the window like this, and all you see is pop, 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 pop. And both cars fucking went their separate way. Dude shot into this dude's car.
What time of
What
day
the
was this?
Fuck.
Fucking 3 p.m.
Oh my
Broad
god.
daylight. If I make this up, I'm a piece of shit. I called Brody right after it happened. I'm like, you
He
will
did.
never. I was like, I didn't even have time to lie. Brody and I just had gotten off the phone not too long before that. So it's like,
Yeah, he called me back and he's like, so guess what just happened? I'm like, what the fuck?
Ugh.
That he told me this whole story. Yeah, wild. And you wonder why people bag on Detroit all the time.
yeah, but then we got cool hipster restaurants.
So does
Dude,
so
every
does Fort
fucking
Wayne,
town
man.
has that, right? But
Yeah,
you
I
don't
know.
see
It's
people
nothing
around here
new anymore.
fucking shooting each other up and shit. They're fucking
Only on like we've
Beat-ass-
confined it to like 2 streets.
beat
Okay,
ass Yukons. Yeah, and
There
those
was a
two
nice
streets
Yukon.
don't have
Pontiac
hipster
Street and
restaurants.
Hannah Street.
Yeah,
and they don't have any of the
and they
hipster-
don't have- Yeah, they don't have hipster restaurants. They don't fit
It was
your
it was a
equation.
nice Yukon. That's why I think why this dude fucking flipped the script so fast.
Mm.
This shit was like shiny. They were both red cars, but like his shit was like shiny. I'm like, damn. All right, I see why you're mad. But just like the art of the shooting thing, that I got over that. I was like, yeah, that sucks. But like it was like the art of this man's like
The shooting
toss.
things like whatever, but he threw a burger at his car.
But like no, dude, he was like
I was
finding
eating
random
that burger.
objects. It was like lighters and pencils and pens and like just like whoop.
Who has
And all
that
you hear
much
is ting, ting.
disposable shit in their car that they're like, I'm okay throwing this?
Dude,
If so, you need to clean out your fucking car.
Yeah, clean your car, man.
I remember I was in a situation with Eric in college where we left a fucking
Toast.
Wendy's at like 2 p.m., maybe some similar time to like you, on a fucking Sunday. We're hungover. We go to Wendy's. We go grab Wendy's. We're driving back. It's like a 15-minute car ride back to the house we were living at in college.
Yeah.
And this car pulls up in front of us on this road in Oshawa. And like, this is it's a pretty big road. There's like 3 lanes across either side, like decent sized avenue. And this fucking like coked out, cracked out dude in the passenger seat of this dude's truck just points at me through the fucking window like I fucking killed one of his relatives or something. And I never saw him. Didn't cut him off or anything because we had an advanced green. So like, there's no fucking way I cut this guy off. I literally looked at Eric. I'm like, Eric, what did you fucking do? What did I do? And he went, we've done nothing. This is just a man who's crazy.
We've done nothing.
He dangles half of his fucking body out of the passenger window while they're going at like, I don't know, 50, 60 fucking kilometers an hour. Okay. And down this fucking road. And he throws cheeseburgers out the fucking passenger window at my fucking car. Now I'm swerving, dodging fucking cheeseburgers, dude, through this little avenue in Oshawa, Ontario. And this fucker's dangling out. He's throwing the bird and shit. Half his body's out the fucking car. I'm trying to turn now because I'm like, I'm going to hit this fucker. All the other cars are slowing down because they're going, why is this guy throwing cheeseburgers at the fucking car, at this other car? I can't slow down quick enough because the person behind me is not fucking paying attention either. So we traveled down the road for like 2-3 fucking miles with this guy hanging out the fucking window just throwing the bird at us. And you can see his buddy try to grab his like shirt, trying to pull him back in. The guy had to just been coked out or something. But it's fucking wild.
We had a situation. It was, I believe, my 21st birthday. We went to a bar, and my buddy hit on some chick. And then when we left, these guys followed us, thinking that my buddy took their chick, or his chick, or whatever. Well, mind you, the guy that they had beef with wasn't even fucking with us. So we are driving downtown because my birthday always happens during this large festival in Fort Wayne. So we are heading down to Fort Wayne, and
Appleseed.
Nope.
No, wait, Rib Fest? Three Rivers Festival? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm all fucked up.
So anyway, we're heading downtown to this Three Rivers Festival, and these guys are beside us. They fucking zoom behind or right beside us, and they start. One guy starts hanging out the fucking window, flipping us off, yelling at us, this and that. My drunk ass is like, "Fucking pull over." I was like, "Let's fucking pull over. See what happens."
Let's go.
Like, so my buddy did not, because he was being much wiser than I was, but I was ready to fucking throw down. And then we never saw these guys again, just fucking gone. But yeah, they fully followed us, thinking that my other buddy that met us at the bar was with us, and he was certainly not. And they were just trying to bark up the wrong tree. There was 2 of them and 3 of us, mind you.
Road rage is wild. It's fucking crazy, dude. Do you have a story, Nick? Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah, not like road rage, but I used to go to a lot of shows, like concerts, like metal and hardcore bands and shit. And then when I was playing in a band, that shit, dude, every fucking night, every fucking show, either I would play or I would go to. My friends, and they're still my friends. I just haven't talked to them in a long time. They're still my friends.
Okay.
But like, my friends are a group of dudes that it's just like, leave that entire group alone. It's prison rules, man. Do not mess with that group. But every fucking show, without fail, it was, I look over, and there is friend number 1 just smashing some dude, destroying this kid. And I'm like, why is this happening? What caused this? So I go, hey man, what happened? He stepped on my fucking shoes, then I fucking told him to watch out, and then he fucking called me a bitch, so I socked him in the lips. And I went, whoa, why? Why is this a thing?
Jeez.
This one show, a pretty good vivid memory I have. It was for my band's EP release show. Big fucking show we were doing, and great turnout. It was a fun night. All the bands that we had play had a blast. Cool fucking night until our set. Starting out good. This fucking drunk piece of shit, and I will keep names out right now because I gotta stop too. I gotta work on that habit. But this drunk, it's a bad habit.
I don't think there's any names left.
Oh no, I've not mentioned this fucking turd. But like, this drunk fucking piece of shit. I don't know. We barely got. We'll call him Tim. We barely got into the set. It was the ring out, and this drunk idiot starts moshing and starts hitting some chick. And everyone's like, dude, chill the fuck out. They haven't even started. It was just literally the like shit like that, like to hype everyone up. And he's just like, which is cool. Like, go ahead, mosh. But don't fucking hit some random girl. I look out in the crowd. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, why is that happening? All of a sudden, I will use a couple of my friends' names. I see Wheeler. And I'm like,
I figured it was gonna be him.
I see Wheeler.
You're gonna meet this man one day.
He's
absolutely
a good fucking hearted man. And I see him go, not today, motherfucker. All you see is this drunk asshole going, huh? And all you see is from like center of the room. This venue is a pretty long venue. Center of the room to the back of the venue at the merch tables. Just this kid going 1, 2, 1, 2, just getting socked the fuck up all the way to the merch tables. He tries to get up. Wheeler's like, just sit down. I'm done with you. He goes, fuck you, you fucking bitch. This other kid I know just goes, wham, on the side of his face. Wheeler's like, I told you I was done, but he wasn't. That kid gets on top, starts whooping his ass because he starts spitting on people. And I'm up on stage going, we're going to play through this. So we start playing, and it's just mayhem in the venue. Everyone's beating the shit out of this fucking kid. My wife, dude, he was getting jumped at this point. He started like using like fucking like racist bullshit. Just like saying a bunch.
That's usually not how you stop someone from beating your ass.
Yeah.
More and more.
Not a good strat.
So my wife was doing door that night. She was getting tickets and collecting the money, whatever. So we could disperse it later between us and the other bands and pay the venue, who the venue owner is a good friend of mine. So we ended up going, you keep the money. That was ridiculous. This kid, I look out and I just see Wheeler go. And I'm like, what does that mean? I get off stage. I'm like, what did this mean? He goes, we drug him outside. We left him there. And this other kid comes in and goes, what do you want me to do with him? And Wheeler went, Wheeler said, just go take care of him. As in, like, get him an Uber.
Right.
Wheeler's like, just get him an Uber.
It sounds bad, but yeah.
This
for
dude.
For the record, for the audio listeners, that was thumb across the throat.
Thumb across the throat, like, hey, it's done. But, like, he's out of here. I'm like, so where is he? He goes, yeah, that's the problem. Homeboy, which, cool-ass dude, who's also happens to be black, heard him calling everyone the N-word. And when he heard Wheeler say, go take care of him, he thought meant whoop his ass further. He gets drug outside. And I guess homeboy dropped bows and knees into his face.
Oh, no.
We had an after party at my house that night because we had a dance party after the show. At the venue, then we went to my house and partied.
Oh no!
And Wheeler goes,
dude had to look like fucking hamburger, dude.
Bro, I will get the photo from Wheeler. Wheeler gets a photo, and it's from this kid, and he goes, "I'll get you, motherfuckers, for all this." His face looked like if Mike Tyson just went round for round, and you didn't get a single hit in, but you got hit each round. His head was like he looked like Sloth from the Goonies.
Oh my god,
he was fucked. So this picture's getting passed around my party. This photo's just getting passed around. We're all cracking the fuck up. We see him at a tattoo convention. He just goes, "Fuck you guys," and he just runs off. And I'm like, "What?"
Sometimes you gotta learn a lesson the hard way.
Dude.
Like, I mean, if you're gonna sit there, first off, and in a mosh pit, target a fucking woman who is minding her own goddamn business.
Yeah, not cool, man.
Strike number 1. Strike number 2, you continue to do this after somebody told you to fucking knock it off. Strike number 3, now you fucking went back there and started spitting on people after people were already pissed. And strike number 4, you start throwing out racial slurs. I'm sorry, you deserve to look like Sloth from the Goonies.
The funniest part,
where you're fucking at.
The funniest part is just the whole go take care of him, get him a ride. Get him out of here.
It's like, just okay.
Can you imagine being that Uber driver? You're just like,
the fuck happened to you?
He never got the Uber driver.
How do you get home? He just walked home, or
no? He lived in Port Huron. This kid lived in Port Huron.
Holy fuck!
Came to our show because his band his ex band was playing the show and he was going to support them. He was fine the entire fucking night until that moment. We all had no problem with him until that moment, and he blew it. And his bandmates, his old bandmates, found him on the side of the building, passed the fuck out in a puddle of his own piss because he got beat so hard he pissed himself.
Oh.
So they had to take him home, and that's when the photo came in. They're like, "I'll get you, like fucking the guy from Inspector Gadget." Like, I'll get you, Gadget.
Oh. Yeah.
But like, yeah, dude, that's one of the worst. I'll get you, Gadget.
Yeah.
Gadget.
Oh
that's one of the worst ass beatings I've ever and I didn't even get to see the whole thing. I wish I could have seen from point A to point outside.
You probably didn't want to. You probably like, holy shit. I almost got my ass beat with a fucking pipe from a biker gang in a bunch of Camaros with Brad.
The fuck?
What?
Midget, like tough guy stuff. Okay, so I had just gotten my G2, which is like that's like your full like driving permit, right? Because what is it here? It's the learner's permit, right? Is your first one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got G1 and then you've got G2 back in Ontario. So I get my G2 license, which means I can drive alone now, right? And I can drive at a certain time at night or whatever. There's no curfew on it. And so I'm with Brad. We went into Peterborough to get some shit or whatever, some snacks or whatever, and a bunch of shit at Walmart or whatever. And we were and to eat at a restaurant. And then we were coming back home to watch some fucking hockey and chill out. The town that I lived in and the town that I grew up in at this point, okay? Brody's been there. Brody, that is the Mecca now. Like, it used to only have fucking like one intersection in the fucking town.
That's how you age
like
Canadians.
No, like
Canadian
one
town,
traffic
how many
light.
Tim Hortons?
I used to have like
God.
one set of traffic lights in the intersection. Now it's grown to about four or five now, which is crazy. So there's this one intersection now that was really, really, really weird near the McDonald's, and instead of a green arrow, solid green arrow that would go, it was just a flashing green light, and that was your advanced green to turn left. But it wasn't to turn left immediately. It meant that you could approach to turn left. Okay, but all the arrows would flash. And on the other side of the fucking intersection, there's an arrow that flashes, which means that you can just fucking go. And you can just turn left immediately. So I'm on the other side of the fucking light. It hadn't been changed out yet, and it hadn't been covered yet. My dumb ass is sitting there. There's two Camaros, old school Camaros, on the intersection across the way. It's like 7:30 at night on like it's like 8:30 at night in like the summer. Okay, sun's slowly starting to like, come down and shit like that, so it's cooling off. I fucking turn left down the street to go drop Brad off or to go to Brad's house to go watch hockey with him, whatever. I forget what we're going to go do. But I turn left down the street and I accidentally cut these fucking Camaros off. They honk and I go, oh fuck, like what did I do? And Brad's like, I don't know, it's fine, whatever. We start driving down the road and all of a sudden these lights turn on from fucking behind my car, just poof.
Oh.
And and me and Brad were just like, okay, what the fuck? And they're like right on my ass. They're like a couple inches from my bumper. Like they're going back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, Brad, I gotta fucking pull into your fucking house now, dude, because this is gonna get fucked up. I'm gonna get your fucking dad out here. And he's like, don't fucking pull in my house. My mom's gonna fucking lose it. And I'm like, so I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna fucking do? And he's like, just fucking drive. So he's sitting there and he's telling me which ways to fucking turn. He's like, turn right. And I'm fucking turning right. We're going up and down through all these fucking streets. We're ripping ass through it. This is in my dad's fucking like. My dad gave me a 2006 Chrysler LHS. Like it's beige as fuck. It's got nothing to it, dude. Like it's an old person's car. I'm ripping around or whatever. Brad's like, turn right. I turn fucking left. And he's like, no, fuck. We pull in down this road. It's a cul-de-sac. And at the end of it is a fucking nursing home. And this nurse is outside, like taking a smoke break or something. We roll the windows down, and both of us are like, you gotta fucking help us. They're gonna fucking kill us. You gotta help us. They're fucking chasing us. And the nurse just goes, you're on your own, boys. So we keep going, and we're ripping around the fucking parking lot. And then at one point, they both fucking come in on us like this, right? And we're in a corner. And we're like, holy fucking shit. And Brad's looking at me and he's like, we're going to fucking die. He's like, this is it. We're going to fucking die. We are done. We see this fucking pipe come out from the fucking bottom side of the door, okay, with an elbow on it and everything. I'm like, holy fucking shit, dude. I'm like, they're going to beat the fuck out of this car. And I looked at Brad and I was like, dude, I'm going to let them beat the shit out of this fucking car. We're just going to get the fuck out of this car or stay in the fucking car and just let them beat the shit out of this thing. And then we're going to get out of here. This is a piece of shit car anyways.
Shit out of
Who cares? Guy's foot comes out. He's got like a big fucking boot on or whatever. And Brad's like, dude, we're so fucking dead. He's like, they're going to fucking kill us right here in front of the fucking wrinkle factory. Like, we are fucked.
Wrinkle.
And we're sitting there. I'm like, oh my God, we're fucking done. We're done. We're done. This is it. Guy walks out, had to have been no more than 5 feet tall. Me and Brad look at each other, or he was like 4 foot something easily. Me and Brad look at each other and we're like, and he was tiny. He was this tiny guy in this leather fucking jacket, jacked up, and I was just like, but he wasn't like jacked. He was like skinny and shit. Me and Brad just looked at each other. We're like, no fucking way. But then we were like, okay, chill the fuck out, because he was still far away, and we're like, the other car hasn't fucking come out yet. We don't understand. 2 guys come out, like 2 boots come out, and we see like fucking stick and like some other whatever fucking weapon or whatever, and we're like, holy fucking shit. Like, the emotions were just fucking running, because we're like, holy shit, this could be the tall guy car or something, fucking the jacked up guy car.
Tall guy car.
Okay. 2 more guys come out. They're like 4 foot something. It was like a fucking clown car, dude, like a midget clown car. They come out. There's 3 of them walking up to the fucking car. Me and Brad are just dying laughing in the car now. And the guys come over and he just points at us through the fucking windshield, and he's like, fuck you, man. I ought to fuck you up. And I just looked at Brad and I was like, man, we're just going to go home. Fuck this shit. And we fucking...
What'd you do? Piss off the lollipop guild, bro?
Oh, dude. It was like a fucking... honest to God, you couldn't... Like, they were so short. Like absurd. Like 4 foot something, dude. Like, they were legally little people. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like we just cut off the fucking roll-offs, dude. Like, I don't know what the fuck we just did. But it was just such a mind fuck for both of us, because we thought for sure like we're fucking dead, and then they pulled out and I'm like, dude, they couldn't even like, I swear to God, the pipe could maybe hit the top of the fucking window of this thing. Okay, the rest of it, yeah, I could have went like this, could have opened my fucking door like that and just knocked them out.
That's so awesome.
But it's so fucking funny, dude. Oh my God, I will always remember that. That was the funniest fucking thing in my life. And scary at the same time.
I have never really had any like situations where I thought I was gonna get my ass kicked, nor was I gonna be in a fight of any shape, really.
Well, lucky you.
I don't think I've told the story about my buddy fighting the Gorilla Man on here, have I?
The Gorilla Man? No, there's no way.
The Gorilla Man.
No, I've told the story somewhere. I just don't remember where I've told it. It's been a story that has gone around a couple of times. So. Company picnic party, or not company picnic, company Christmas party.
Yeah, we
go. They offer free alcohol until it runs out, pretty much,
which is
or
sick.
Until 11 o'clock. So you drink plenty, right? So everybody gets all liquored up. We then leave where we are at and walk down like a block to this bar. We go inside this bar. This bar is packed, and most of it is people I work with, and there's obviously some people that I don't work with, but for the most part, a lot of people that I know and work with. We have been there for all of 5 seconds. There were 2 guys arguing in the corner, and one of my buddies decided that, hey, I am going to insert myself into this. He is very much the type of person that tends to pick fights. It's kind of his thing, or it at least used to be. But anyway, there is one situation where his wife, I think, likes to see him fight, and she goes, "Hey, some guy with a white Under Armour hat with a black logo on it slapped my ass." So he goes walking around this place to find this person. And he comes back and she goes, well, it was actually a black hat with a white emblem. And you're like, okay, hold up. So anyway, this is what we're working with, right? Like, this guy just wants to fucking kick somebody's ass. So he starts talking to this guy, and this man is very clearly roided out, is very large, and next thing you know, they go outside. So me and one of the other guys that I work with go out there to see what the fuck's going on. So we go out and there's Gorilla Man and my buddy who is
Gorilla Man.
Gorilla Man. Yeah, he was like maybe 5'10" and absolutely fucking massive and hairy as shit. And I'll tell you how I know he's hairy as shit in just a moment. My buddy, he is 6'5", 200 and probably almost 60 pounds. So he is no slouch either. He is a very large dude. So we go out to see what the fuck's going on. They're exchanging words at this point in time. I poke my head back inside because my wife is standing at the door and I go, hey, get me a drink. I will be back. I turn around and Gorilla Man has ripped his shirt off. Just absolutely fucking taking his shirt off. These motherfuckers start to go at each other. My other friend tackles my buddy, and now I'm left with fucking Gorilla Man. And I'm like, I literally like put my hand up and like just like stop, don't fucking do this. And he was all fucking roided out and shit, like very obviously. And we finally got him to stop fighting. But when I had popped my head back in to tell Amber to get me a drink, one of the guys at the fucking bar is like, you need to stop this. I go, what the fuck does it look like I'm doing, man? Like,
I wasn't even
I
part
am
of
in
this
between
bullshit.
a man that is a foot fucking taller than me and a man that looks like goddamn Harambe. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do right now? I am 5'6". I'm doing what I can, okay?
That's the
But,
problem with
I
being
mean-
so short, man.
Yeah. Nobody fucking takes you seriously.
No one takes
but-
you friggin' serious.
But yeah, anyway, we ended up breaking them up and everything. And I sat there and like talked to Gorilla Man. I still don't know the dude's name. And I like talked to him afterwards, and he actually seemed like an okay dude, but very clearly like roid rage. And then my buddy just has a fucking ego out his fucking ass where he's got to, prove he's the toughest dude in the room.
I hate that
It's
shit.
just fucking awful. But that's not even close to the first time that this dude's gotten in some shit for wanting to fight and shit. But there was one time we actually got kicked out of a bar, and so we're leaving the bar. My buddy is walking out with his beer, the guy I was just talking about, walking out with his beer, and the bouncer stops him and he's like, hey man, you can't take your beer out. My buddy didn't hear him, so the bouncer reached for his fucking neck, and my buddy one hit fucking knocked him to the ground. Like right fucking now.
Jesus.
Next thing you know, the cops show up. My buddy is in handcuffs calling them rent-a-cops because he didn't realize they were real cops.
Man.
We're like, I'm fucking kicking him in the ribs. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Just crazy shit, man. Like, some people just love to fight. And I've never understood it. I have never once wanted to be in a fight. Never. I don't enjoy that shit. I don't fucking like that shit.
I hate it.
I hate it. Like, I don't genuinely want to hurt people, and I black out if I get hit in the head. Like, one time, I'm fucking gone. There's no more, like, Brody anymore, and I'm not fucking doing it anymore. I'm dead serious. Like, I legit black out. Like, it's not good.
I black out at, like, the thought of, like, so, like, if it's about to go down, my brain shuts off. That's, like, where you get Nick sticking a finger in some dude's ass in Warped Tour.
What?
I told that story.
We are talking about very different things.
No, we weren't. I black out during fights. If I think it's about to pop
too.
off, I'm like, all right, boom, primal, finger and ass, and then I punch him in the face a couple times while I'm doing
I don't
that.
think that's a primal instinct. Like, I don't think the.
I just fight dirty.
It's not a
do you think that
self-defense mechanism.
the cavemen, like back in the day, like when they were hunting the woolly mammoth, like they're like, hey, let's just shove our fist in its ass and that'll kill it.
Yeah, they raped it.
What the fuck?
Dude,
I
yeah.
don't think they raped the woolly mammoth.
They probably raped a woolly mammoth.
How would they do it?
Dude, you fucking tie that. We're not doing that on the show.
What are you talking about? This is what we do.
That's true. They probably raped the woolly mammoth. What do you want? They're fucking dumb back then.
Are we dumb now?
I mean, we still have
We are.
people that fuck donkeys.
Would we?
So.
Okay, so here's the real question, Nick. Would we, if we still had woolly mammoths, you think someone would still rape one right now?
Yes, I do. I think people are not good inherently. I think someone would figure out how to put their head in its ass too.
People haven't evolved.
No, you would get like Ace Ventura, like, check this shit out. I'm gonna slide in its ass. I'm gonna Ace Ventura out. Like people would do that 120%. They'd bother this animal. Yeah.
They'd shove their head up a woolly mammoth's ass.
Yeah, Ace Ventura, it, dude.
I bet you do that in Alabama. They do that. The old Alabama mammoth is what they call that.
Alabama mammoths, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Oh my god. Yeah, when I
people
said
inherently
blackout,
shit.
that was not on the same track that I was thinking about, but that's
I
fine.
do heinous things in fights. Unspeakable things in fights.
Just like as a self-defense mechanism to like
This
defend
guy
yourself?
was the same as what you're talking about. This guy, there were like 3 gorilla men. Wheeler's going, where are we at here, boys?
Gorilla man.
While he's being choked. And I'm like, okay, it's just me. My other friends are fucking running up to the fight. I'm like, I gotta not let him be choked. So I like shoved him, and he's like, and I'm like,
So you
okay.
fluggered his asshole.
Yeah, I fucking stuck a finger in his ass, and I fucking I stunned him. That was like my stun attack.
My stun attack.
And I stunned the dude.
Nick
and
used
as-
confusion, and it
stuff,
was
dude.
very effective.
It was like this.
Jesus.
Dude,
Finger,
Nick's Asian, dude.
Ass, finger, ass,
Nick knows Kung Fu,
and-
dude.
boom, boom, boom. And then Wheeler knocked the motherfucker out, and Wheeler looked at me and went, good shit, but you're gross as fuck. And then the fight continued with all his other friends, and then we had to get out of that area.
I just imagine you like poking some dude's ass with your finger, and then you just kind of like
I was all
poke it
digits
out
in,
the
bro.
door.
Dude, I was all digits in.
You were second knuckle deep?
You're
I was I
second
fucking
knuckle deep in that dude's ass. That's crazy.
Yeah, and there was like no actual bathrooms at Warped Tour, so I had to just like use like the little water sprinkle things to like clean my hands with like a bunch of sand. There was a fuck.
He went to the food truck and went wet naps now.
Everybody was
All
like,
of them.
everybody was like, dude, good shit. I saw you fucking beat that guy's ass, but why? They're like, but what made you think to put your finger in his ass? I'm like, I don't fucking know. They stopped him. And they're like, yeah, but like, yeah, you're kind of gross though, dude. I'm like,
What the fuck? I have never seen someone do that. Never.
He stuck a finger up the ass of a gorilla man to fucking
Yeah.
Hey There
It was-
Juliet by We the Kings.
it was during Stick to Your Guns.
Nice.
So
He
like,
stuck to him, dude.
dude, the vocalist Stick to Your Guns is watching this fight. He's like, this is what ruins shows. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah,
Fucking finger.
fucking finger popping some dude's asshole. I know.
You can't tell, but I'm flipping you off through his asshole right now.
This is what ruins shows. Why can't people actually fight? This is
I
the
am
third
using
show I've
this
been
man-
to where people are finger popping each other's assholes.
This man is a fucking finger puppet right now.
Oh,
Jesus.
He was
God.
a fuck. He was a fuck
Two
puppet for a
knuckles
second.
deep into some dude's ass.
all
That's
the way-
through his pants or shorts too, right?
He was wearing basketball shorts, so I had to dig down and go up. Yeah.
Jesus, that's some dedication that just.
I
What
Dude,
the
he
fuck?
probably ruptured his asshole, dude.
fucking molested this old grown ass man.
How old is this guy? How old you reckon?
So this guy was in his 30s, and I was
how
like
many
23.
how many rings were around his tree? You
Oh,
figure?
his Johnson?
Yeah. No,
I didn't
his
feel that.
asshole. Its asshole's like a tree, right? How many rings are around the
feel that.
asshole, right?
Dude, it was a swift, really quick movement, and I don't know. I know this guy had a faux hawk. He had fucking lame ass earrings in, and he just thought he was just a gorilla man.
It's pretty much Machine Gun Kelly, but you finger pop Machine Gun Kelly's asshole.
Except
essentially.
for
Bootleg.
Gorilla Man.
The dude was huge.
Oh,
I wasn't
Except
gonna
for
win
Gorilla
that,
Man,
Never
not
mind, never
Slender
mind.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't
yo,
just gonna
Machine
win
Gun
that
Kelly
fight.
is Slender Man.
Yeah, dude, he's creepy.
He's
Him and Megan
creepy?
Fox. They're creepy.
Oh, together,
Just-
yeah, they're creepy. Yeah,
Yeah, they're weird, bro.
Megan Fox is interesting to me because she's the only person I know that was portrayed as dumb, ended up being dumb, then somehow got smart for a couple years, and now she's dumb again.
I don't get it.
So I don't know if she's acting or if that's her,
I don't get it.
which
I
would
don't-
make
I
her a
honestly
good
don't know.
actor, but it also might make her really dumb.
Anything's possible. Anything's fucking possible.
That's crazy, man. People pay money to get a finger up the ass.
I've already told this story at OBO. You guys are shocked. Why?
The way you explain it is just incredible. I mean,
You
it's
really
art.
have a way with storytelling.
I mean,
for
you're
sure.
an artist. You're an artist for sure.
If we had like a group of people completely off the grid, you would be the storyteller of the group for sure. Like
Yeah, if
to
we were in, like,
pass
an
it on to the
apocalypse.
generations and
He'd
everything.
also if we also want to go by like old school style titles and traditions, like way back in the day, he'd also be the mammoth fister in the group too.
I would not be raping a mammoth. I
No,
don't
you're
want to
not
do that.
raping it. You're trying to stun it. Your stun attack is fisting the mammoth's asshole.
That's right.
So that me and Brody Brody can club it, and I can stand there and go, boy. I hope we evolve in 100 years,
Dude.
I hope things get better.
God. Look, Nick's doing it again. He's doing it again.
But
He's
yeah,
elbow
in
deep in that
2015,
mammoth.
we thought we'd evolve, but in 2015, Nick is stunning a man by shoving his finger up his nose.
Yes. Well, you got to think though. At that time in my life, I was, I was heavily.
What a great qualifier!
It is.
Listening.
I was heavily into alcohol. Like I was a fucking.
I mean, not
I
a
was
drug,
booked.
but readily available.
Readily available alcohol. I was drunk every fucking day, every minute of the day. I didn't have a job. I lived in a house, which I'll talk about the house right now, actually. I lived in a house in Redford, Michigan. I may have talked about it. This dude who got out of the military, his parents had a house that his uncle died in, and they didn't want to sell it. So they were like, hey, why don't you and your buddies move here? And I was like, yeah, tight. Bet. No rent. It was just like pay the taxes every like 6 months or so, right? It's like property tax, whatever.
Yeah, fair
Twice a year,
enough.
pay the property tax. I went, okay, cool.
Okay.
So like we had 6 months to figure out how we're each going to get like $300 to pay the property tax. Whatever. Dude, this guy who got out of the Marines had fucking issues, man. And he was a cool dude for a long time, but he got into like the graffiti scene. So like he would like sneak out, quote unquote. Like he tried being Batman.
How do you sneak out? Because you're old enough
You-
where
you-
it doesn't matter.
There was 5. No, from us. So there was like 5 or 6 of us in the house at one point.
You putting him to bed or?
No. Like he would like think that we weren't looking, and he would like put a hoodie up with his backpack full of spray paint cans and just like dart out the door, like no one could hear him. But you'd hear going out the door, and I'm like, this is stupid. This guy's losing it. And
You trying to be like
he would
Banksy?
like, dude, yes. But like he'd come back in the house, he'd be like, and just like all you hear is all the way upstairs. I'm like, what the dude? You're just spray painting walls. Shut up. But like, we started hearing shit from his room. Like we'd hear. He was just like shaking the cans all night. He was shaking the spray paint cans. He also had an AK-47 in his room. That started to become concerning because all you hear was a he would just rack it all fucking night. And I was like,
great.
a couple things are gonna happen here.
You're the Joey Diaz of this podcast.
Dude, it was so give me the monkey. But yeah, dude, it was ridiculous. So like it got worse because then he was like, hey, you mind if I like tag the house up a bit? And I'm like, it's your fucking house.
It's your house.
Whatever. Yeah, like we just live here. Like it's a squat house. This is where we had all the ridiculous parties. People would just like show up and never leave for months. I'm like, hey, when are you gonna get off my couch? They're like, you don't pay rent. I'm like, okay, you're right. I just go back to my bedroom.
You should have stuck your finger up their ass, dude.
Dude, I didn't have the stun attack at that point.
Okay.
That was a couple months later.
He hadn't
enough.
mastered that art yet.
He was spray painting the house though.
Stink foo.
Stink foo. Stink fist. My stink fist, bro.
Way with the stink fist.
He was spray painting the house, and I remember because it was fucking like it is now, shitty winter, and he's like, "Hey, I gotta turn off the furnace." I'm like, "Why? Why do you gotta do that?" He's like, "I'm gonna spray paint the house. I'm gonna start in your room too." And I'm like, "No." Okay, though, I guess because it's your house. So he's spray painting he's spray painting my bedroom, which is the basement. And it's kind of like my basement now, like the fucking bricks
Why did he
and
turn
everything,
out the
whatever.
furnace? Was he afraid of it blowing
So the
up?
fucking he thought because of how much he was spray painting, it was gonna blow the house up.
That's
and
my God.
he
That's
had
ridiculous.
and he had fans running around the house, and he had the windows in the kitchen and the bathrooms open.
I mean, at least he's a cautious, crazy
Fuck
person.
him. It was a negative 1,000 in that house. I'm walking around in a fucking blanket, looking at my boys, which Ben lived there. Ben peeks his head out of his room and goes, "Does anyone else think this is bullshit?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking bullshit." He's like, "All right, glad I'm not the only fucking one. Fucking freezing in here. I can see my breath. I'm gonna smoke another cigarette. Maybe I'll get warm, I guess." Dude, I had a fire in the basement. I took a fucking trash can, a metal trash can.
You had a hobo fire?
Dude, I took a metal trash can and I fucking burned books and shit. I opened up the little window, that little fucking like glass window you have in basements, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I opened up a little window and just let the smoke pile out that way. It got that cold in that fucking house.
How long
I
was you
just sit
spray
there
painting for?
Fucking weeks. We didn't have fucking heat. My roommate Kyle at the time goes, "So like I'm gonna go back to my mom's house until this bullshit's over with." He's like, "Let me know when this is done." I finally text him like, "It's done, I guess." Adrian's like, "Oh, I just gave out his name, whatever." Dude goes, "I'm gonna turn the heater back on." I'm like, "Oh, cool," because we didn't have hot water.
Why?
So I'm just because he turned that off too.
Why?
We don't know. He turned it all off. We had cable and internet. That's it.
How the fuck is the water heater going to cause an issue?
He is a fucking jerk off of mass
If
proportions.
anything, the water
That's
heater's
why.
just gonna blow up on its own. That happened when I was a kid.
That shit's
Sitting there
scary.
in the kitchen, we're playing like fucking sequence, Scrabble, whatever the fuck you want to call it. My dad's sitting there, my mom's sitting there, my brother. You just hear this giant boom in the fucking basement. Okay, this is my dad for you. My mom freaks out. Everyone freaks out. My dad's sitting there like this, and she goes, "What was that?" And my dad just goes, "I think the hot water heater just exploded." The straight face. So he goes down. He goes down to the stairs area, and he's like, "Jeff, I need you to come with me. Hold this flashlight." So I hold the fucking flashlight with him. The fucking power's out in the house now because it's just fucking tripped everything off, right?
Oh my god.
I've got the flashlight. He's like, point it a little bit more down that way because he couldn't see what the fuck is going on. And our stairs were so steep that went to the basement. I point it down there, just like fucking a blue smoky haze sitting above the floor. My dad's like, "All right, get in the car and go to Tim Hortons. We got to get the fire crew here."
The fire crew here.
So we got the fire crew out down there, and the firemen had to, like, I don't know, they pulled the fucking thing out. The firemen in my old town were just, they save lives. I appreciate them tenfold. I think they're great people, wonderful people. But they were not the greatest at showing up on time to the scene and solving the problem. For example, there was a home that was on fire, and it was right across from the fire station. Like, right fucking across from it. Like, you could, like, when you woke up in the morning and you came down the stairs of that house, all you saw was fire trucks. So you're immediately thinking to yourself, okay, I'm fucking solid. I'm good. We're done. We're good here. I remember driving to fucking school, and I saw smoke in the window. My dad did too, and he's like, "Holy shit, we knew the guy." And he called the fucking fire department, even though they're right across the street. All their doors were closed. My dad's knocking on the fucking door, and he's knocking on the fire door. He's like, "What are you assholes doing? Get the fuck over there. This thing's on fucking fire." And the firemen just went, "Whoa, what?" And they're like, "There's a fucking fire right across the street from you." Right, and the thing is just like billowing. I mean, the house is gone. No, everyone was out, thank God, but the house is completely engulfed on fire. But their response is so bad. My dad would work on people's cars in the neighborhood, and he had a window, like a windshield repair guy or whatever, as a friend, and he would often do a lot of mechanical stuff for him. And this guy had like a van, just like a Dodge Caravan, and he parked it in the driveway. My dad left it there in the driveway, and again, we're all sitting there hanging out, and all of a sudden we hear like the alarm go off on the fucking car. And like I live in a small town, so nothing happened, right? Like nobody's ever stealing shit. So my dad goes, "The fuck was that?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Did Michael or you hit the keys?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't touch the fucking keys. I didn't do anything." So my dad goes out to take the trash, and I go with him or whatever, just to go in the garage because I think he's gonna fuck around with something on his older car, in his classic car. And as I'm walking by, I'm like, "The fuck is that smell?" The inside of this caravan is just full of fucking smoke. We look inside the windows. The dash is on fucking fire. This car's on fire. My dad's like, "Holy shit, call 911." I call 911. We get the fire department on there. The fire department comes. We can hear them. A couple minutes later, there's sirens because, again, they're just down the fucking street from us, okay? Little late now, all right? The entire car is fucking on fire on the inside. These guys pull up. There's like 8 of them. And I was extremely descriptive. I was like, there is one caravan. It is isolated. There is no other cars around it. It is not near a house, anything. Need somebody to come up here and extinguish it, please. We've tried using a fire extinguisher. That's not going to work, obviously. We need some heavy-duty shit. 8 fucking people show up with 2 fucking trucks. Now, all the resources are at our house. Okay, all the neighbors are out looking at shit or whatever. These guys spend like 8 minutes setting up their fucking hose and putting their shit on in our front yard because this is like volunteer service. Okay, and I appreciate if they're a volunteer firefighter. Appreciate it 100%. Love our first responders. Absolutely need them. These guys pull out like a fucking crowbar or whatever to pop the hood open. Okay, they're like trying to do shit with the hood. My dad's just standing there like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Flame starts bursting out of the fucking back of this thing.
Yeah, you don't fucking do that.
My dad's in his pajama pants and shit like that, and he's like, he just goes like this. He goes, "Get out of the way, get out of the way." He opens the driver's door. There's fucking flames and smoke shooting out of it. He pulls the fucking cord for the hood to open, and then he thinks that he's done there or whatever. So then one of the fire guys gets his big mitts under there, opens up the hood, holds it open, and then they're yelling at each other like, "We gotta disconnect the battery. We gotta disconnect the battery." My dad's like, "What the fuck are these guys talking about? They gotta disconnect the battery. This thing's on fucking fire. It's over. Yeah. Put the fire out."
Fuck the battery.
He's like, we gotta put the battery out. It's a fuel source. And so they start fucking around with like a ratchet. And they've got these big meaty gloves on, so they can't do shit or whatever, right? So again, my dad comes in wearing Toronto Maple Leafs pajama pants and a fucking Molson Canadian white shirt he got out of a fucking box, a 24-pack of beer. And he just starts pushing them out of the fucking way. And he just goes and grabs the fucking wire for the battery and grabs the battery, pulls the fucking battery out with the car still on fire and just throws it on the fucking lawn.
Jesus,
these guys finally
Your fucking dad cracks me up.
These guys finally put the fire out, and then the police officer shows up after they're done their shit to make sure, like, you know, if it was arson or something like that, right? He shows up, and this police officer, God bless him, but growing up, his name was Officer Spiky, because he had frosted tips, and we would all sit at the Tim Hortons. Brody's dead. We would all sit at the Tim Hortons as kids in our trucks and our cars in the parking lot, like no matter what the fucking weather, and we just drink Tim Hortons and stuff and shoot the shit, light off fireworks, fuck around with the Pizza Hut employees and stuff like that. You know? The town, the village idiots would come by or whatever, and we'd fuck with them and stuff like that, right? It'd be like every night there was like 20 kids down there in the summer at least, and then it was on and off for the rest of the year. Officer Spiky shows up and he's like, "Hey, just want to ask you a couple questions." I'm like, "Okay, sure," or whatever. And he's like, "So, what did you notice? Like, what happened?" I'm like, "The fucking van was on fire." I just point to him. It's in the thing. He talks to my dad. He's like, "What did you, Stan? What did you see?" And he's like, The van was on fire. I called the fire department. The van was on fire. They couldn't do anything. They showed up here. They couldn't do anything. I pretty much did it for them. The van was on fire." And he's like, "Well, do we think it might be arson or anything?" He's like, "No." He's like, "It's a wiring thing." My dad's like, "I've worked on Dodge Caravans all day." I was like, "I paid for my son to go to college with wiring harness issues from these pieces of shit." And He's like, can we get? He's like, are you the owner of the van? He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, but I've messaged the guy, and he's cool with it. He's like, do you have to? He's like, you gotta call, and so he calls Matt, his buddy Matt, and he's like, hi, this is Officer Spiky is what we call them. And he's like, sir, your vehicle is unfortunately caught on fire in the driveway of so and so's driveway, and he's like. He just goes, is it salvageable? And he's like, no. He's like, all right, that's fine. I'm going to go back to bed now.
Just so over it. Like, whatever,
the whole
dude.
process, dude, was so fucking stupid. Oh, my God. Obviously, we'd fuck with that guy so much, man. We'd throw fucking donuts at his car.
You guys were the bottle kids, man.
Yeah, we'd throw donuts, little Timbits, little donut holes at his fucking car. Someone put a condom on his fucking tailpipe. But they poked a couple holes into it so the air could pass. Like they cut the end of it so some air could pass off it. But it flapped in the wind and it was still there the next fucking day, like bright and early.
You guys could just fuck with cops like that over there?
Yeah, I mean, the guy had no cred. I mean, he would come over all the time and he'd be like, look, if anyone peels out tonight, he's like, fellas, it's going. He's like, I'm going to light you up. If someone peels out here tonight. And we're like, okay. So someone would just peel the fuck out, and two guys would go at the same time and peel out of the fucking Tim Hortons. And sure enough, he'd light his shit up, but he'd be back 3 minutes later or whatever, because he just wouldn't want to fucking chase them. And there's two of them, so what can he do? And he can't call anyone into the town because he's the only fucking cop for the town at night at that time. And there's certainly no cops are going to come from Peterborough like 25 minutes later. So he'd come rolling back in. And everyone would just stand and go, and just clap for him. And people would ask him, they go, "Where is he? Where is he?"
Oh, this poor man.
Oh yeah, man. He used to put donuts on the antenna, on the back antenna, because we knew the guy inside the Tim Hortons, and he'd have the super stale donuts in there that were like fucking concrete, and you just stack them on the back antenna of the thing. He'd get all fucking pissed off. The people at Pizza Hut would fuck with him too. Like, we had a guy named Jeremy who worked at Pizza Hut, and it would be like close to close, and he'd yell out the fucking, because he'd park right in between the Pizza Hut and the fucking Tim Hortons in my town and just watch everybody. And our friend Jeremy would come out at like close, and he'd be like, Spiky, I got a fucking deluxe. It's got to head to the south end of fucking town. You gonna take it or nah?
Nah.
I mean, this guy was just demeaned, dude.
Oh, poor Spiky. We hope you're doing well.
Okay, so guess what? Fucking halfway through his career, I guess, with me living in Lakefield at that time, guess what his cop car was?
What?
It was the fucking PT Cruiser.
Oh.
That was. What are you talking about? You guys just do that in Canada? What the fuck's he gonna catch in a PT Loser?
That's what we used to joke. So Lakefield didn't have its own police. It was Peterborough Lakefield Police because the Peterborough department would send people there, right? So this guy, there wasn't much crime going on in Lakefield. If there was, there'd be a Peterborough cop on like a highway that would come in, right? Or OPP, like the provincial state police, as you would say here. And so he fucking for like 6 years had this PT Cruiser. And we would just fucking light them up. I mean, people would just throw fucking chirps. Like, I mean, they'd say, hey, Spiky, that fit one guy or two guys in the back. And then they'd fucking...
Dude.
We'd make jokes. We'd say, what the fuck? You ripped the wood paneling off of it. That was the best part. I mean, it was just the most hilarious fucking shit in the world, dude. PT Cruiser.
That's like a fucking mall cop, dude.
Like, dude, it was. He was he had a gun on him. He had a gun on him and shit. He was a full cop, but he was in a PT Cruiser. We'd call it the PT Loser, and we'd fucking...
Yeah, PT Loser.
Oh, my God, dude. We would just chirp this guy so fucking bad or whatever. We'd say, hey, where's Did your wife's boyfriend buy that for you? We'd fucking chirp that.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, my fucking God,
I think
dude.
I'd rather ride a fucking Segway around town. Like,
Oh,
fuck
dude,
me.
honest to God. I mean, it was so funny. And he'd threaten us. He'd be like, hey, you guys get out of here. I'm pulling you over and give me a ticket. And I mean, all the kids would just be like in that fucking thing.
Oh my
Holy
God.
fuck, I'll be in the
Fucking
next
bike's
county before
faster
you
than that
make it out of the
fucking thing.
fucking red light, dude. Jesus Christ.
The
Fucking
frosted
heck.
tips just really add to the whole.
Yeah,
like,
he had frosted tips. He
here,
loved
too.
them too. I mean, he had
Oh my God.
Officer Spiky,
loved
dude.
them.
And he gelled them. He gelled them
yeah.
all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
if he headbutts you, you're taking
We
you
used
out.
to ask him where the fucking Dippity Doo convention was. Because he had so much of that shit in his hair, bro, that held
Oh
that
my
shit
God.
up so spiked up. Oh my God. The chirps, though, were
ridiculous.
just fucking phenomenal. I mean,
On
oh,
par.
dude, it was. I'm trying to think. People would ask him when he'd roll in, and we'd say, "Hey, is that going to be in the Pride Parade again this year, or is that or what?"
Oh, Jesus.
God. Yeah, everybody always pictures like Canadian cops as fucking like Mounties and shit, right? Like, but no, they're just cruising around in PT cruisers. Like, fucking
I'd
hell.
be so fucking pissed, dude.
So he would go. I didn't go to this high school, but apparently Brad told me this. We had a different constable come to our high school to talk about like drugs and different shit, you know, and they parked that car out front where it's like, you know, it's all fucking destroyed and shit right before prom to tell you, you know, to show you like, hey,
Don't drink and drive.
don't drink and drive, you know.
Yeah.
So apparently Officer Spiky would come into the Lakefield High School and he'd talk about drugs and stuff like that, and he'd do it outside, and he'd pull everyone would line up outside like in a big old fucking group, and then this motherfucker would come peeling the fucking in his PT Cruiser,
No.
and he'd he'd open up the back hatch of that bad boy, and it would be like, you know, the drug
my
paraphernalia and like the look-alike drugs to like, so you could show kids what drugs are what and what to look out for and shit like that, and like marijuana can be laced, all this different shit, and nobody could take it seriously. I mean, here's a guy peeling into a fucking parking lot with like, you know, 100 kids standing outside of it to come talk about drugs out the back of a fucking PT Cruiser, dude.
Everyone
Frosted
laughing at him, I
tips
hope.
and everything
Frosted
else.
tips.
Good God,
Oh my God,
Oh.
dude.
that poor bastard.
Anyways, that'll probably do it for this episode.
Yeah, that will do it. This is a traumatic episode for everybody.
Oh shit. All right, Nick, you want to close it out?
Yeah, sure, I guess. Thank you guys again for
You wanna
checking out
shove
the
your
O.
finger up the ass of this episode. And...
No, I'm not going to shove my finger up the viewers' asses. I'm going to politely tell them, though, to please
behind a
check us
paywall.
out.
Oh my God.
Yes, that is behind a paywall, barring what my wife allows it. Yeah, be sure to check us out, though, every Monday at 9:30 p.m. We're going to make some changes to the show that we think are going to work best for this show. We'll get into that probably next week. But yeah, you can find us on, again, OBO Podcast on Twitter, OBO Podcast on Instagram. 9:30 every Monday. The episode will be up live on Tuesdays at 5 a.m. anywhere you listen to podcasts. You could check myself out on the WASD and Beyond podcast. You could check Brody and Jeff out on the Diggity podcast. They go live every Thursday at 9 p.m. and their episode goes live on all podcast platforms at 5 a.m. on Friday. Myself, my show goes live every Wednesday at 7 a.m. and Friday at 7 a.m. as well. Till next Monday, guys, take it easy.